What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, I want to talk about the things that I've been doing to stay off of my damn phone over the past 2 months. For those that are just joining my channel, I am an elementary school teacher and I've been teaching for the past 10 years. One of the things that's been really difficult for me is staying off of my phone on my free time. And you would think, wow, like you have all this free time. How, what do you do with it? Do you go travel? And for the most part, when you do have a summer off, you do go somewhere, you do go on vacation, but eventually you do have to come back home. So being off of my phone has been something that's been really difficult for me to do. It's been really eye-opening seeing a lot of different videos on, brain rot and, doom scrolling and just how it affects you as a person and, just your overall drive to do different things. And I've really tried to be really cognizant of that over the past year. So this is what I got into over the summer. So this is what I've got into over the summer. And the first thing has been gaming a little bit more. One of the games that's caught me by surprise recently is Splatoon Raiders. And it caught me by surprise because when the first Switch came out, I did play Splatoon 2. It was a game that really intrigued me because it had a lot of different customization options. And I was looking for a replacement for Team Fortress 2, which, I was really just tethered to my PC a lot more. So having something a little bit more portable with Splatoon 2 was intriguing to me. I've always thought it was a really fantastic game. I loved, the fact that you could have different guns, and I love the territory elements of, the Splatoon games. So Splatoon I've always been in the corner of Splatoon. I've always rooted for it. I think it's a fantastic entry into Nintendo's library, but it just hasn't really done much to grab my attention. That is until Splatoon Raiders. Splatoon Raiders has been just absolutely fantastic. It's a whole lot of fun, and it's really what I've wanted from Splatoon ever since I initially played it. I really love the customization abilities that carried over through the franchise. I love the art style. I love the sound design and the graphics in terms of what the Switch 2 can do. I'm absolutely surprised that there's absolutely no lag or frame rate drops. It's just been a completely smooth experience when it comes to having a bunch of these monstrosities on screen and firing different firing paint at them consistently, throwing different gadgets at them, unlocking loot. It's just been a lot of fun. So I've been getting deeper into that. Been playing that almost nightly because when my son goes to sleep, I get a little bit of an opportunity to play for about an hour and a half, and it's just been a lot of fun. I've recently tried to jump back in to Breath of the Wild, and I've just had a hard time doing it. It's a really wonderful game. I love what Nintendo has done with it, but I've had a lot of false starts with it over the past 10 years. This is probably going to be like my third false start that I tried this summer. But, every time I try to play it, it's not so much of a boredom thing because I love exploring what, this beautiful landscape that Nintendo has built. But, it's been something that, ultimately I get busy and I just don't come back to it. Or I play a different game. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with Splatoon Raiders because it did take over my time to play Breath of the Wild. I'm not sure if I'll go back to it. I want to, but I'm going to need to do it soon. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start it again. But it is beautiful on the Switch too. I think that, the upgraded version that Nintendo is offering maybe not be worth it for most people, but if you've never played it before, it is a beautiful game. The other thing that I've gotten into is Obsidian for taking notes. It just really makes your notes really beautiful, in a format that you really like to see them in, and you can, soup it up, you can strip it down, you can make it look the way you want it to look. And what intrigued me about Obsidian initially was that every journal entry becomes a node on this graph. And as you continue to journal, your nodes continue to expand, and you start to make connections between other ideas. So when I first started Obsidian, I did so about a year ago, maybe, maybe, 6 months ago or so. And I had a bit of a false start with that, just because I got busy and I really didn't get the opportunity to like really go hard with it. So I wanted to put that into practice over the last 2 months. And I think I've had a lot of success in doing so. I'm journaling almost every day now and averaging about 750 to 1,000 words per entry. And even though it's not a race, I do consider it to be almost a gym or a workout for my mind, because having that exercise of, I want to write 1,000 words about this topic, whether that be a movie I saw, whether that be a place I went with my family, or whether that be about a game that really moved me. It's something that I want to put into practice and put those words into a document. And ultimately, it is just a document app. You could do the same thing with, Microsoft Word or Pages or Google Drive or Google Docs. One element that I like about it is that when it comes to pictures, like if I go somewhere, I went on a hike with my family or even going to the beach, taking those pictures off of my phone and putting them onto my laptop. It's not 1,000 pictures. It's maybe one or two really memorable pictures of that event or of that experience. And writing about it has made it a little bit more digitally tactile than it just living in my Photos app. Yes, I can develop those photos at Walmart or Amazon or whatever it is. And I'm trying to make more of a conscious effort to get those pictures into a physical form. But when it comes to like really engaging with, a picture I took of my kids, or, a picture I took of somewhere that we went, having that memory and having that experience and having that engagement with it has made it a little bit more fulfilling, because I can scan documents. I can take pictures of a map that we used at the park that we went to for the hike. So it's been a little bit more fun to engage with it that way. It's not just, hey, here's a map, let's throw it in a drawer and never think about it again. It's really more of a digital scrapbook, and it's really more of a digital garden in that way. But it's just something I've been engaging with a lot more and really practicing writing with in just a completely different way. And I do encourage those who are into writing or journaling and want to keep it on their laptop. It's completely private. There's no subscription for it. And it doesn't look like in the foreseeable future they're going to start like charging for it. It's a beautiful app. I really love it. That's Obsidian. Another thing I've been doing more often these past 2 months is watching movies. A little after my son was born, and we were just going through the chaos of having a newborn baby and seeing him grow into toddlerhood, I told my wife, I really miss watching movies regularly. And by regularly, I mean like 2 to 3 times a week, whether that be I had stayed consistent with going to the theater to watch a movie. But like when it comes to watching a movie at home, we have a Blu-ray player, 4K player. Why are we not using it? And that was something that I had missed. And I really made more of an effort to engage with my physical media over the summer, and start teaching my son about it. One of the things that has been really enjoyable for me and really like wonderful to see is him discovering his own tastes when it comes to movies, and toys and everything else in the world. But recently we actually went to IKEA to pick up a few Billy bookshelves because we wanted to have our movies on display. And when, of course, we put up the Billy bookshelf, and my son's, poking through whatever it is, and of course he finds his favorite movie, which is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And he says, "I want to watch. What is this?" And I tell him, "Well, that's the movie." And I tell him, "Let's watch it." So he takes it off the shelf. We go put it in the 4K player, and we watch it, and he enjoys it. And I think now, like, he picked up on the fact that all of these we can watch too. Last week, he picked up the DVD for Ghostbusters, and he's been like obsessed with Luigi's Mansion since like he first became conscious of like Mario and Luigi and sucking up ghosts. So he sees this ghost on the cover and he goes, "What is this?" And I go, "That's a movie called Ghostbusters." And he goes, "Well, let's watch it. Let's put it in." And I go, "Okay, well, we made a movie night of it." And, honestly, a lot of it went over his head. There's a lot of innuendo in it. And I'm kind of glad it went over his head. But him having that like ability to select it off a shelf has been just like really awesome and just really beautiful to see. So we've been watching more movies at home. We also were able to go and see The Odyssey, which was like amazing. I think this is Christopher Nolan's like if you had to compare, I would love for somebody to tell me like, oh well, you just like The Odyssey because it's like his newest movie out. I don't really recall like loving Oppenheimer as much. I think it was more so like getting sucked into the meme of what Oppenheimer is, or Oppenheimer was when it released in theaters, and seeing it on IMAX, because I do think that film was a big IMAX event for the culture of movie watching. I think a lot of people hadn't really like considered watching a film on IMAX until Oppenheimer came out. And even when Sinners released and you had Ryan Coogler make the video of like what IMAX formats were different and how they can compare, that really like woke people up to what IMAX could be and what IMAX is. And I think like it's really coming into fruition of like, hey, I want to see The Odyssey on IMAX. I didn't get to see The Odyssey on IMAX. I have a favorite screen at the local movie at the Cinemark that we have in our town that I choose to like, okay, I'm gonna go watch it on this screen. It's not like huge, but I do really like the sound system, the surround sound in that theater. It's just really awesome. It's not an XD screen, so they do charge a little less for that ticket. So that's absolutely like a cool thing too. But also, again, going back to my son, we were also able to take him to see Toy Story 5, and we took my daughter. There was nobody in the theater. Toy Story 5 had already been out for like a month. So there was nobody in the theater. We took my 2-year-old daughter. We took my 3.5-year-old son to go see it. Wonderful to see like their faces light up and they watch the film like with us as a family. And also going to go see Brand New Day with my dad and my son, that has been that's just a memory I'm always going to like cherish, because when I grew up, from the time I was like really little, my son's age, to like now into adulthood, like me bonding with my dad, amongst other things. But going to the movie theater with my dad has always been just something that I've always enjoyed. And seeing my dad like really enjoy the experience of going with his grandson and myself, his son, was just kind of a full circle moment for the both of us. So just really awesome to see. My son really loved Brand New Day. I love Brand New Day. I'm a big supporter of the MCU Spider-Man, for better or worse. But it was just really awesome to see in as a family in that way. But those are the things that I've gotten into over the summer, amongst other things. But I do want to make this into more of a series on my channel, because I do find it important to talk about the things that are keeping me engaged, like, and keeping me off of my phone. So consider this volume 1 of staying off of my damn phone. But if you've made it this far into my video, thank you so much. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers right now. So the more I inch closer to it, every subscriber does matter a lot to me, and I appreciate those of you who hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.